it's not glamorous. It's not, it's traumatizing.
She worked for years as an exotic dancer, a career she says paid well, but one that left her abused and spiritually bankrupt. Now she's working to prevent others from becoming victims of sex trafficking.
Now she does this by bringing a message of salvation to strip clubs. She opened up to TV5's Rachel McCrary about her mission to rescue body and soul.
Church and strip in the strip club.
You heard her right. Shiny poles, 6-inch heels, exotic dancers, and religion.
The living word? I'm not just quoting. I'm like, this thing, the word became flesh in me.
It's a stripper ministry named Eve's Angels, a nonprofit on a mission to save women from the sex industry, founded by someone that knows this world all too well, Annie Donowald.
And I call it a world because it is. It has its own rules, its own players, its own law.
Annie says she danced for the first time at a local amateur night and won. She was in college at the time and says all she wanted was a new pair of shoes.
You know, it just seemed easy, the way that it was presented to me. You know, perspective is everything, and I think that at 19, you don't really have any.
And that amateur competition led Annie to a career as a dancer in places like Lansing and even here along Dort Highway in Flint at places like Deja Vu. But what started out as a seemingly innocent way for a teenager to make some quick cash ended up costing Annie more than she bargained for. Annie danced in clubs all across the country, making a 6-figure income in places like Las Vegas and Beverly Hills. That fast cash led to prostitution and a cocaine addiction. She says drugs were a way to escape her new reality.
A couple breaking points that I had. One of them was, I remember the day that I was sitting and I had made, I don't want to talk about an exact figure, but it was a lot of money at work in 6 hours. And I was sitting there with it. And I thought, I'm not happy.
After nearly 7 years on the road, selling her body and her soul, Annie says she was spiritually bankrupt. Now she looks back at what caused her to go down such a hard road. She came from a high-profile family. Her dad, a successful college basketball coach, and had a mother that loved her dearly. But when Annie was 13, she was sexually assaulted by her uncle. That changed everything.
There was just a lot of abuse, trauma, that was, like I said, swept under the rug within the family.
Annie says she thought telling someone about the abuse would hurt her father's career, so she internalized her suffering. She says abuse is a common thread among workers in the sex trade.
I've never known a girl that wasn't, you know, because it's not glamorous. It's not, it's traumatizing.
Annie says things finally changed when she was at her lowest point, consumed by depression. She got pregnant and started planning an abortion. Lost in despair, she prayed to a God she wasn't even sure existed, and something unusual happened, as she explains to one audience.
I had to make 5 different appointments, and for one reason or another, they all got canceled. For example, I would leave 2 hours early and get stuck in 3.5 hours worth of traffic.
Amen.
Months later, Annie gave birth to a beautiful baby boy and to an idea that she was going to do something to help others, dedicating her life to God.
Put together a campaign for t-shirts so we could raise some money on sex trafficking awareness. And now we're gonna go to the strip club during the day.
We are sitting in the club, still talking about the word. We're in here praying.
So she formed Eve's Angels. Now she travels across the country once again, only this time with a different mission. With other former dancers, she hangs out in strip clubs, sharing her story and her faith. Recently even opening a safe house for anyone looking to get out.
What's so amazing about Eve's Angels and this safe house is our main goal here through all the rehabilitation is for women to know who they are. It's for women to believe the truth that they are God's loved daughter, that they are worthy, that they are beautiful, and that they can have a beautiful life.
Annie says her organization has welcomed hundreds of dancers and anyone else caught up in the sex industry. She helps victims start a new life and coaches them as they make plans for a brighter future.
There is something that I find with every woman that I've worked with, including myself, is there is a higher currency than money, and it's passion, and it's purpose.
With this I-Team report, Rachel McCrary, WNEM TV5.